All right, we've been building our duotone color. Right? And we did that by duplicating our flat local color and then brightening it up and now cutting away from it to reveal the flat local color underneath. So let me just finish that off. Remember, I lock every layer I'm not affecting. To me, that's incredibly important because it's really easy to mistakenly add color or delete color from the wrong place. And to me, that's like when you make a sandwich and you put an ingredient on it you don't like, and then you have to just start all over because you put like sweet relish on it and you wanted dill relish, and now it's touched the cheese and it's touched the mayonnaise, and that sweet relish is going to ruin the sandwich, right? So you want to lock your layers so you can really control each step of the digital coloring. So right now I'm only affecting my duotone layer. I'm doing the kind of scalloping. I think I overdid it there, so I'm going to start it again. Remember, there's no kind of legal obligation to do it everywhere. It's whatever you think looks good. You're getting a sense for it. Especially since my snake is kind of twisting. Yeah, that didn't work. I thought that might work. You can always alter your selections by using Shift to add to them, Option to subtract from them. And as I'm doing this, I'm seeing little flaws in my line art, like just little places I didn't clean it up perfectly. But again, we're not trying to be perfectionist here. It all works. And some scalloping down here. Let's see if this works. Yeah. Sometimes, because you don't have smooth on your lasso, right? Sometimes your color variations won't be, your color variation lines won't be as smooth as your vector outlines, but don't let it bother you. You're probably the only one that cares or notices. All right. So now I can actually turn off my color reference, and I'm going to change my duotone highlights layer to orange. So I have, because this is like grilled cheese with multiple cheeses, right? So I've put like American cheese down and realized American cheese is terrible. So I'm going to use like a medium cheddar and add it. Now that's looking better. But now I'm going to duplicate the American cheese layer again. So I'm going to first lock my duotone highlights, go back to my flat color layer, duplicate it again, and this time I'm going to push the darks darker. So I'm going to push those flat colors towards the darks instead of the lights. So these are going to be my duotone shadows. And shadows, again, I do all in caps, so I really understand the difference. Because this is duotone hard edge color, but it's duotone hard edge color with my local colors serving as the shadows, right? What I want to do is try darkening those shadows. And I'll do that with my highlights showing. So I now go to Image, Adjustment, Levels. And now I'm going to push that mid-tone slider to the right, right? And you see how it darkens those shadow forms. Okay, now where I do want multiple steps, like maybe in the crown, and I want a medium level, this is where I'm going to subtract from this. So maybe I want a medium highlight on the crown like this. Right? And maybe a little band right here. You can get that. Or on the wing, let's see, the shadows. So I've got this kind of strong texture. I just want to scallop it a little bit more simply. Soften it a little. Now you can really overdo it, but I'm just getting, it's called feathering your color, like slightly stepping them down. Now this is still hard edge because look how clean those divisions are from this to this to this. But they're all still just variations on the local color. Then maybe little spots other places. What do I keep doing? There we go. But it's always going to be where my local color was showing before, and I just want to lighten it a little bit, like a little rim light. What's going on? There it is. Okay, like a little rim light right here. Yeah, it's too much. Maybe in the eyes, just a little bit, like a little glint right here. Little reflected light for you color theory enthusiasts. And that will reveal things like core shadows. Or if it just seems too dark in some places. Oh, too fussy. Okay. All right, so now what can you do? Well, check and see how the color looks on all the different backgrounds, black, white, and gray. I'm going to try a little rim light here. Nope. It works, but it's just, calls too much attention to itself. Okay, so now I have 3 different layers making my color, right? Like my sandwich. If I turn off my flat color and I just replace it with black, this is what you would see. There's holes in it, right? But if I do it with white, it should look pretty good. But with all 3 of mine, it should look good with my flat color and then my duotone shadows and then my duotone highlights, right? With all 3 of them, I'm going to lock all 3. going to mark this one as red, my duotone shadows. So yellow, orange makes red. That's the idea of duotone coloring. This is what I want everyone to try. I started with references from my colors, stealing colors from references, but then you make them your own. And it needs to look good on white, it needs to look good on gray, it needs to look good on black. That is our duotone coloring. Now, once that is done, you can turn off all your background layers, right? And you can turn off your black line art layer, and you can see what just your color looks like. And then you can click on the topmost visible layer, hold down Option, and say Layer Merge Visible. Whoops, I've got to keep holding down Option. Layer Merge Visible. There we go. And now I'm going to label this Combined Hard Edged, I'll do that in caps, Hard Edge Duotone. So now in one layer, which I'm going to make, what color? Fuchsia. I have it all in one place. I'm going to leave that unlocked for now. That is my hard edge duotone. Even without the line art, if I just put that on black, and this can be a printing technique that saves you or your client money. If you print on something dark, sometimes you never need to print with a dark ink, right? So as a t-shirt design, I can just print with these duotone colors on black, and it will fill in the gaps with the line art. So it doesn't matter if I add the black or not. But let's see on gray. If I printed it on gray, it would look like this. And that still reads pretty well. And that's still digital coloring, even though the line art has been removed, right? So that is the equivalent of this example right here. This is duotone hard edge, but you can't see any outline. That's because the outline has been removed for the design. But it was still colored with the outline. Sometimes people like that look, and that's how you get it. And then on white, how does it look? So it looks really washed out on white without the black line art, right? And that's because all of these colors, even my darkest color, so if I use Option to find it, is not touching the bottom, right? It's still within like the 80% dark range. But when I add the black, it should all give me that full spectrum. Okay, so why did I combine them? So I'm going to put it on gray, and now I combine them so that I can do this. I can test variations on those duotones. So I go to Image Adjustment, and now I go to Color Balance, my favorite image adjustment tool. And I'm going to play first with the highlights, and I'm going to say I like the highlights, but maybe I want them to be a little bit brighter and a little bit greener or a little bit oranger. Ooh, like that. I like that. Much richer, much more gold. Now I go to my midtones. Remember, this is on a duplicate, so I'm not hurting anything. And I can push those more green or more towards these kind of turquoise jewel tones. More towards yellow or towards the blue. And I realize I'm not actually much of a green fan. I'm kind of liking the primaries instead. But you see how some of my whites are really getting washed out. So I go to my shadows. Maybe I put a little bit of that warmth back in. There we go. But then might go back to my highlights. Let's see. There we go. No. Yeah, it's all right. I'm finding something I like and then sacrificing it for something else. But that's the beauty of digital art. We're doing this in layers. So maybe right there.